Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I want to come on here and talk to everybody. Very seldom do I actually come on Facebook and actually talk directly, but I felt I needed to come on and talk today about something that we're getting ready to go into as of actually yesterday, and I should have made this video for yesterday. So we're now in what's called the spring solstice, and that is the wonderful time where we go from winter of death into life. And as the trees begin to blossom and bloom and the allergies start to come out and disrupt everyone's nasal passages, also another thing comes about that affects a lot of us, especially people like myself, and it's called seasonal depression. And so I am someone who is severely affected by seasonal depression. I didn't know I was affected by it when I was, of course, in my teens or my 20s, but it became evident around in my 20s that I was suffering with seasonal depression. And it's a very hard time for some of us. It's a very, very hard time. Um, Not only does the weather and the allergies bring you down, but just emotionally, it's a time when, a lot of us, we don't know why we feel the way we do. And it's very hard. Um, it's very dark for me. It's a very hard time from the beginning of Aries, which is March 21st, tomorrow, my mother's birthday. And my birthday ends it at April 20th, is the end of Aries, beginning of Taurus. And that season is really hard. Some of us experience it again in fall. So I feel it again in September, October. And it's a hard time then, but nothing is as hard as it is during this time period. So for all my empath friends, and you know who you are on my Facebook page, and some of you who don't know that you're an empath, you might need to look the word up. And if you're someone like me who's always felt other people's pains, out of all the people in the room that you meet, all the women in some nightclub or some establishment that you meet, you would meet the one who's as broken as you are sometimes, and you share that bond that you gravitate, as they say, to what you are. Water seeks its own level. So I thought I would take time out. I was talking with one of my neighbors who wonderfully has expressed that he suffers with depression, and he's on the road to mental wellness and not mental illness. And some of my other friends who know me well for the poetry that I've done back in the 90s under this stage name Traumatized. And I was writing about my fight with depression. And growing up watching some of our best artisans like Richard Pryor and JoJo Dancer, Your Life is Calling, or the remarkable Marvin Gaye, Tupac, other artisans of our time who expressed their battle with depression. And I've always been an open book about it, so I want to always reach out. At one time, I'm actually here at the Shape Community Center. So the t-shirt I'm wearing, for those of you who don't know, in Houston, Texas, this wonderful place called the Shape Community Center. And the SHAPE stands for Self-Help for African People Through Education. And educating ourselves about the fact that we suffer with these things and don't know it is a very critical part of our survival as black folks, with so much that we've been through in this country for all these years that we're still going through, being economically pressurized, the racism, the injustice, all these years of suffering with these things, we still carry psychologically with 400 years of this. And some of us don't know about generational issues that we have, or the things that we carry from the womb that our mothers may have been feeling when they were in gestation with us. So I'm sitting here on the corner of Live Oak in Alabama, and I wanted to sit here and just simply make this video today so that you know, I can say that those who are like me, it's okay. If you need to reach out to somebody, you can always find me on Facebook. Pretty soon here, I will be bringing back my poetry that I did back in the 90s for the next generation, because even though I'm much older and I cope with it in different ways, there's a lot of youngsters who are now at the age like my son. You know, they're at the age I was at when I was battling it and didn't know what I was going through. And a lot of the youngsters today, they don't understand what they're carrying. And a lot of them embellish their pain through narcotics, alcohol, or they ink themselves up to the point where that's how their pain is expressed. And, you know, they're screaming for somebody to talk to them. And as we look at them and try to figure out what's wrong with them and think maybe, man, these kids are aliens, maybe we need to talk to them. They're in a lot of pain. So, because I love you dearly and I care about you empaths out there like myself, you know, it's a very interesting superpower to have, to feel other people's pains along with yours and to try to cope with it. So I bid you adieu from the Shape Community Center, Houston, Texas, 3rd Ward. I love you all, and I hope to see you again. Peace.